Dawn breaks across the desert. Red blossoms spring up from a freshly dug grave. A busy street thrums with wasted childhoods. Someone doesn't hear the footsteps creeping behind them. A scream rings out, but is drowned out by the noise. This place is dying. And yet, here you are. Welcome to San Arroyo, hunters. We here at Dubious Creatures present to you the vampire with no name, Final Girl. As the sun slowly beginning to sink past the majestic buttes that color this area of the California desert. Red rocks finally living up to its name as the sunset begins to color them brilliant shades of red and orange. We find ourselves along for a ride as inside a beat-up car overlooking a low rise, a radio crackles to life. Hey y'all, once more into sunset with only your fine selves for company. As always, it's Eli coming to you live from Magdalene Tower Broadcast Station, San Arroyo at KRB FM 91.7. This is 7 minutes to midnight. Your after-hours aperitif straight from the dusty heart of California's Cowboy County. For those of you tuning in, long-time listeners and free radicals, y'all always remember, wherever you are, there you go. Now, not to bum y'all out from the get-go, but it's been a pretty grody week here in the Six Gun City. Got it on good authority that the usual star-studded attendance for Floyd Fest is at an all-time low. Maybe due to that earthquake in Whittier a few weeks back. As if traffic in LA could get any worse, am I right? Still, rumor has it that our little oasis is hosting quite a few diamonds in the rough. Eddie Conlon and Toxic Shock are down from the Bay, ready to, quote, put this fucking town out of its misery. Hey, his words, not mine. And the evening hour radio continues to drown out any other background noises as the camera hands outward slightly so we can get a good view of the inhabitants of this vehicle. Joe, if you'd like to describe your character and what it is you're doing at this particular hour.
Well, Joe Carter is she probably would have been considered a tall drink of water in her day, but she spent a lot of time out here in the sticks, and she's driving this hunk of junk, and she's got her best buddy next to her. His name is Hawks. He's a mutt mix, some sort of pit bull, something with a big old dumb forehead, short for Ham Hawks. Found him chewing on one in the garbage once, and it's just too damn cute to say no to. So Joe wears her traditional flannel, black and yellow, and she's got her Levi's on, and her boots that she had issued from when she was part of the Park Service. She couldn't seem to give them up, gets them resold every year. She's out taking a drive because she's heard tell that there's been some hooligans breaking into that fucking eyesore of an amusement park out there, so she's on her way to check it out.
And as you finally come up the dirt path, barely distinguishable from the rest of the desert landscape, to eventually the land splits open and the eyesore is revealed. Jackalope Jim's Adventure Park. Shuttered as of 1981, but still sitting there, collecting dust and unwelcome visitors.
Jesus Christ, what a shit show. That thing's a fucking eyesore. I wish they'd just tear it down. I look over at Hawks. What do you think, bud? Should we go just take a can of gasoline to the whole damn thing?
Hawks, by way of reply, I imagine he's sitting in the passenger seat, as all canine companions must at some point.
He sure is.
Yes, then by way of reply, he kind of takes his big, oversized head and immediately starts nuzzling into the side of your head, licking you with his massive, wet tongue.
Go on now, you sloppy old thing.
Shakes a little.
Well, let's see what these little turds are up to today.
As you both exit the vehicle, you can give me wits plus awareness or wits plus investigation.
That looks like a success with a crit on one of them.
All right, so that is 3 successes total. So it doesn't take you long to find the hole in the fence. Clearly, someone took a wire cutter to the chain link probably a couple hours ago. Isn't this place supposed to employ, like, security or something? How does this keep happening?
Goddamn rent a cops ain't even doing their fucking job out here. Well, come on, Hawks. Let's go see what these kids are up to. I drag the bolt cutters and I toss them into the car, and then I make my way through the hole in the fence.
Inside of the confines of this, again, Jackalope Gyms was never fully completed. Over the course of its construction, it was beset by all manner of industrial incidents and workplace injuries that eventually just caused the whole thing to come to a grinding halt a couple years back. As a result, there's this very eerie, liminal feel to it. All of the partially constructed rides, the metal frames and fiberglass skeletons of what might have once been, or were rather supposed to be, roller coasters or other such amusements, and of course, lording over it all, a massive anthropomorphic jackrabbit in a Stetson.
That thing gives me the willies. Feel like its eyes are just following you around the park. I look down at Hawks and you can kind of see his hackles are up a little bit. Fucking, ugh. Let's just make our way. Storyteller, you said that it was about dusk, is that right?
Yeah, it's around 6:30-ish in October. It's getting to that point in the fall where the nights are starting to get longer and starting to get darker earlier. You can see that you get maybe 5-10 minutes before you lose the daylight completely.
Right. I presume that Joe would have been coming prepared and had a mag light or something that she carries with her, so probably pulling that out for safety, and she's got a gun on her hip. It's legal.
California is an open carry state.
Mm-hmm.
Hawks, dutiful pup that he is already sniffing at the ground. You can tell pretty quickly that he's picked up a scent as he begins to forage slightly ahead of you. You start heading towards what you think at one point was meant to be some kind of, like, I want to say barrel ride, which is to say a teacup ride, but more old westerny.
Joe approaches slowly and kind of takes a look around and is shining her flashlight kind of into the barrels. Just glancing, seeing if she could see any kids hiding out.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me one more. I'll let you decide whether or not you want to make this wits plus awareness again or potentially wits plus survival.
All right, that's 3 successes.
3 successes. Well, that's blood.
The fuck?
Yeah.
How much of it am I seeing?
Well, if you didn't know what you were looking for, you'd probably just assume it was more rust or scoria. But you look on the inside of the barrel ride, and yeah, there's a long streak of maroon.
How fresh does it look?
Well, with that many successes, and given your skill set, you know from experience that blood tends to, once it's outside the body, that is, tends to dry out and turn ugly, sort of scabbed brown red pretty quickly once it's outside the body. So if you had to take an educated guess, you'd say maybe a couple hours old.
Hawks, come here. Get your snoot on this.
He lifts up onto his hind paws, immediately notices the bloodstain, puts his snout up to it, then immediately begins to tear off past the barrel ride, clearly having picked up something.
I will just follow suit.
Gonna roll something in the background here. So almost immediately after you lose sight of Hawks, you hear the sound of, sounds like a crash, sounds of commotion.
Well, what the fuck? I go tearing after.
You go tearing after, and as you rush around the side, you see 4 people, all young men, one of them currently being pinned to the ground and half drowned in dog slobber. God, what the fuck? Whose fucking dog is this?
What are you shitheads doing here?
The shitheads immediately react. You can see, judging by the DIY piercings and abundance of torn leather, yeah. If you had to make a guess, some of the crowd from the local punk scene has come out here to make some sort of, I don't know, independent film. One of them's got like a handheld camera.
Listen up here, David fucking Lynch. It's getting a bit late for you guys to be breaking into an amusement park. Now, what the fuck are you doing here?
Hawks has still got one of them more or less pinned. Another one, tall, lanky guy, not nearly carrying the weight he should for his height, and made even taller by a truly impressive mohawk, kind of stalks forward. Lady, get your fucking mutt under control.
Not before you tell me what you're doing here.
We're, just trying to soak in the ambiance, you know?
Right. What's the camera about?
Well, that's none of your fucking business.
I will make it my fucking business. You know
God.
you're trespassing on private property? Do you know that? I could have you arrested.
Thermo, fucking get this thing off. The kid that's currently pinned seems to be talking to the one that's squaring up to you. And you look down at the kid and you can see he's a lot younger than the other ones here. Asian American, got both of his ears pierced, wearing a Circle Jerks t-shirt that's rapidly becoming soaked through with dog saliva. And you recognize him. Pretty sure that's Vincent Fung, Linda Fung's kid.
Vincent, what in the ever-loving fuck? Hawks, come back here.
Oh shit, Joe?
Yeah, oh shit, Joe.
Hawks obeys, naturally. Thermo, you think his name was, looks between the two of you. You know this bitch? Man, please tell me my mom didn't send you out here.
No, your mom didn't send you out here, but I got a right mind to tell her where you been.
One of Vincent's other friends starts snickering, just like, Uh-oh. Somebody's out past their bedtime.
We're all
man.
out past your fucking bedtime. Do you know what's out here? Probably not. Fuck. Go on, get. Now if I see you around here again.
Or what? Thermo takes what looks like a switchblade out of his pocket.
Joe draws her gun and shoots at the ground at his feet.
Damn. All right. Give me a... Let's call this dexterity plus firearms.
So I've got... Ooh, spicy. Just one success. I just wanted to scare him.
You fire at the ground in front of them, and the noise carries quite a bit in this space. Lots of stuff for a gunshot to echo off of. Naturally, the little trio here immediately recoils. Unfortunately, with only one success, you don't think it quite had the effect you're looking for, as Thermo he's not stupid. He doesn't try to charge the woman with the shotgun, but he does stand his ground. Yeah, you act real tough all the way over there.
Listen here, you spiked head motherfucker.
Hey,
I want you to take your hand. I want you to take your handheld camera. I want you to take your handheld camera, and I want you to get your ass back to the UCLA campus where you found yourself, all right? This is no film school bullshit.
Hey, whoa. Again, Vincent is, interposing himself between the two of you. Look, this doesn't need to turn to the OK Corral, all right? Okay? Just take a fucking chill pill, Thermo. Joe, if I come back with you, will you promise not to shoot somebody?
Well, tell the porcupine here to mind his manners, and maybe I will. Listen up, Vincent. I'm not going to tell your mom about this, but if I catch you all out here again, you're going to have more than this fucking shotgun to answer to. You hear?
As you start to, slowly withdraw from this conversation and this confrontation, Vincent kind of sheepishly in tow, you hear Thermo call out, "Hey, by all means, Calamity Jane, we'll make it a fucking party."
Enjoy your film degree. Come on, Vincent.
Jesus, Joe, you can't just fucking,
Jesus, Joe, what? I catch you trespassing out here. You know what is fucking out here. You know what this is like. You don't know what fucking coyotes or wildlife is out there. You don't know shit. You're coming in here at dusk, at a place that is barred from the public, private property, condemned. Don't you fucking... Oh, Joe, you can't be like that. Swear to God, get in the car.
All right, I'm getting in the car.
At this point, Joe would pat her leg and say, "Come on, Hawks." And Hawks would jump in the front seat and clamber over Vincent to get into the back seat.
Yeah. We were a little vague on the details, but what sort of vehicle does Joe drive?
I feel like it's either a pickup, a rusted pickup truck, or an El Camino.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine an El Camino has better seating, but pickup truck is more utility.
Yeah, I mean, with her years in the Park Service, I'd venture it's a pickup truck, but it's pretty ready. So I think that there's probably not a lot of cab space in the back, but it's enough for Hawks to get comfy. So we'll go with that.
Because you're looking out for the comfort of one of your passengers, and it sure as shit isn't Vincent.
Nope.
I mean, he's barely 17, and he looks exactly what he is right now, which is kind of a scolded child, as you put the car into reverse and start to drive off and eventually towards the main road, which will take you back to San Arroyo.
Vincent, what the fuck are you doing with those kids?
I met them down at the trick box, and I don't know, liked their energy. Wanted to make this.
Their energy?
Look, they wanted to make this, independent film thing, real auteur direction shit. And how many other towns have got just this big fuck off, empty amusement park nearby.
Yeah, and how many kids have rolled in from all corners of California to shoot their dumb independent movie at that fucking amusement park? You know better than that, Vincent. Come on.
You're not actually gonna tell my mom, right?
Joe kind of turns in her seat and looks, so she's got like one eye on the road and one eye on him. And she says, I'm not going to tell your mama. But you do have to promise me you're not going to do this shit again. Because if I find out, you're going to be in a world of hurt and it's not going to be my doing.
I thought you left the park service or something. What exactly is your damage?
My damage?
Yeah, why are you
Shit.
No, why that spot specifically? You got the whole Mojave to yourself, but, God forbid some people want to do some exploring.
Vincent, it's dangerous. You could get killed. I saw blood in one of them there rides. That could have been you. I'm just saying, I know that we got the whole damn desert out here, and the desert's another creature in and of itself, but that park, shit, I don't know, maybe it's cursed. It don't smell right, and it's unsafe. And for some reason, all you little fucks under the age of 22 just think that it's open for business. It's not. You're gonna get tetanus at the very least.
God, no wonder you get along with my mom.
Yeah, well, your mom's a good friend. I'm looking out for her and you, so button up a little.
He just crosses his arms and kind of settles into a huff.
I tassel his hair.
Looking out the window, sun's fully set at this point. You realize, shit. If you have to drive this kid all the way back to his mom's place in Berendos Valley, you're gonna be late for another thing that you had scheduled for tonight. One of Patience's schemes.
Well, Patience is just gonna have to use her namesake and settle in while I drop this kid off.
Alright, so you're not gonna maybe try to find a payphone, maybe let her know you might be a little late to her impromptu interview?
Would I know what she's aiming at? Would I know, is she meeting at mine or is she meeting somewhere else?
Rather than answer your question, I'm gonna ask you, Patience. Be real with me. How much have you actually told Joe about the Maria Winters situation?
Funny. Jack shit.
In that case, you heard her somewhere between Jack and shit.
Oh, fuck. Well, knowing that about Patience, I'm gonna pull off at the gas station and find the payphone. And as I pull up to the pump, I get out of the car and I look at Vincent. I said, listen here. You're staying right put, and this dog's gonna watch you. And he would turn and look, and it's almost like Hawks is trained to pull his teeth back and bear them, in a threatening kind of way. Yeah, Hawks is a little lamb, but he don't know that, so.
Hawks is one of those dogs that can go from sweet to scary, the drop of a hat.
Exactly. Vincent, I gotta make a phone call. So, I'm also gonna be driving your ass back home. They'll make me regret that.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I thought. I'd walk up to the payphone, put a couple dimes in, and dial the number of Patience.
You dial the number for the Three Flags Truck Stop Diner, located in the bustling Three Flags Truck Stop Depot. One of the largest such depots, if not in Yorkshire County, then in the greater Mojave sector of California. Diner itself is, people in the 80s love 50s nostalgia, and the diner was built with that in mind. Lots of polished red leather, shiny if slightly scuffed chrome-plated bar where you sidle up to get orders. Old school jukebox, currently playing Mexican Radio by Wall of Voodoo. The coffee's passable, but they do a pretty good tres leches. And it's here, in one of the booths, even as, no doubt, a phone begins to ring behind the countertop, that we find... Well, Patience, if you'd like to describe your character for me and what it is she's doing.
Patience Sosi is sitting in the bar as if she were sitting in her own living room. She's all rough leather, scuffed shoes, but all gangly beneath the appearance. It's like she's trying to be intimidating, but even the way she has her shoes up on one of those shiny chrome tables is just a little too practiced. She's trying to look tough, and that's with 2 Fs, but she's a little too soft around the face. Her brown skin is wrinkle-free, her eyes are still bright and optimistic about the world, and her half-up hair is messy, but in a way that she clearly styled it to be such. And right now, she's finished her second piece of tres leches when the phone goes off and just raises her eyebrows, expecting to get kicked out any minute now because she's not showing proper table manners.
Yeah, one of the waitresses behind the bar, I think her name's Christine, glowers at you, but then goes over to the landline, picks it up, it's like, Three Flags Diner, how can I help you?
Hey, it's Joe.
Oh, hey there, Miss Carter, what can I do you for?
Is Patience there?
Looks back over to Patience and Patience's dirty boots on the countertop. Yeah, she's around.
Giving you hell again, I imagine, tonight. Listen, I got to chat with her real quick, so if you could just pass the horn over to her.
Yep, you got it. Patience, get your damn shoes off the countertop. People eat there.
Jesus, lady, it's not like you're not gonna clean at the end of the night.
Phone call for you.
Shoot, it isn't the Winners, is it?
No, it's Joe.
Should have guessed. And she will sidle over, almost like a scolded child, and grab the phone. Sup, Ranger lady?
Patience, keep your damn boots off the counter.
How'd you even know I had my boots on the counter? For all you know, I was sitting there like it was a 3-star restaurant.
Well, I heard Christine yelling at your ass, so I figured that was the case.
I'm sure this isn't a lecture, Mom, but what's up?
Listen, I just caught Vincent here, trolling around the abandoned amusement park, so I gotta take him back home, so I'm gonna be a little late to our meetup.
Gotcha, I gotta go tell Mommy what little prep boy's been up to.
Yeah, well, he was hanging out with some of those scuzz punks.
Oh yeah, punks. Does a vomit motion towards the waitress.
So, I'll probably be about 15-20 late.
No biggie. Christine's giving me cake as long as I'm here. It's not like anyone else around here has taste.
Yeah, well, keep your damn shoes off the counter and she won't kick you out, alright?
She on the counter.
I promise no such thing. You are paying for that slice, young lady.
Put it on my tab, Miss C.
This ain't a dive bar. Forget it.
Just give Christine a break, would you?
I mean, I guess for the sake of the neighborhood and integrity, and I guess the United States as a whole, I can try.
Try not to get yourself kicked out of another establishment. You know, you've been barred from about 3 now.
Hey, not my fault that they don't understand good music.
Well, I don't think they took too kindly to you breaking their jukebox after you played Talking Heads over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
They didn't play Redbone either. Alright,
Well.
stay safe on the road, I guess. And tell Vince I said hi.
I'll make sure to say it just like that.
Thanks. Catch you later. Hang up the phone. So about that cake, you got any more in the back?
Anyone ever told you that you have this tendency to wear out your welcome?
I mean, my mom's not here anymore, so didn't get taught manners. You see, I am just a poor orphan child, the result of the violent colonialism that takes place in this country of ours. So really, it's a charity act that you're letting me stay here. teach this
Lord.
ruffian child from her ways. And she does this very dramatic motion of just flopping forward on the counter and batting her eyelashes.
You could practically feel Christine's eyes roll on the other end of the table, just like, Lord, give me strength. She hangs the landline back up, and as she does, you hear the ringing of a little bell as somebody pushes their way into the diner. Someone who is very noticeably not a regular here. If Maria would like to describe your character.
Yeah, so Maria Winters, who is definitely a new character for this and is going to be fine.
Careful.
She's fairly tall, about 5'11", very slender. I think she's wearing high-waisted jeans and has sort of partly tucked-in flannel shirt that's open to reveal the tank top. She has made an effort to put herself together, but is clearly still a bit frazzled. She's not wearing makeup right now, and there's some dark rings under her eyes. Noticeably pretty, and has a luscious head of dirty blonde Farrah Fawcett hair going on, which, despite going through some rough times, is still perfect.
The Three Flags Diner, again, it's just by virtue of its location, it's got a suite of regulars. If she wasn't already turning heads before, she may be attracting unwarranted attention now, which definitely, I imagine, doesn't make you, Maria, feel any more comfortable given recent events.
Yeah, despite having fairly statuesque features, internally she is extremely nervous and can't help but almost catch her boot on, like, because I think she's wearing, like, the hiking boots she normally wears out to a dig site or something. Almost stumbles a little bit at the final step up into the diner and makes her way over to the counter and says, yes, is Patience here?
You'll just see a hand raise up from the back. Woo, that's me. Sup, reporter lady. I approach very casually, like a cat approaching a food bowl that has just been filled because they've been screaming for hours. Patience, but you already knew who I was. What about you, Women's University? Just winners?
Maria is preferred, but call me what you like, I suppose. And I think
It's
Maria
worth
has
adding.
noticeably leaned back a little bit as Patience has gotten up in her space. She's noticeably leaning back a little.
Patience is taking that space up, and it's worth noting that Patience is only 5'2". So she is on her tippy toes, politest smile, pockets in her baggy jeans. You want tres leches or like just gonna stand there?
Sure, tres leches, I suppose. Shall we grab a seat?
Let's do it. Oh yeah, Ranger lady, she's gonna be a bit late. Ran into some youthful delinquents on the way here. You know how it is.
Oh, there's gonna be more people. I see.
You know, if that's what they call a Socratic seminar, I think.
Wait, so is this an interview or a class? I'm confused.
You're telling me, aren't we all learning in the process of life? Isn't that right, Christine? All learning, what is it? Patience.
I'll get you that cake on the double, sweetheart. I'm sorry. She just says that and then walks off back into the kitchen.
So I'm going to be leaving a large tip. I see how this is. So you wanted to talk to me, but I'm a little unclear about what.
You write stories, right? And I am leaning in. Again, very eager to take up your space, but there's a bit more of a sharper edge to my eyes.
Was a professor. I suppose I like stories.
Stories for a certain university? Striper, perchance?
That is where I used to work.
So...
Is this about the court case or the murder?
No, whoa, lady. I'm not trying to get caught on manslaughter charges here. No, I was wondering what you knew about the break-in and why they're pinning it on me and my boys.
I think... so the first thing. Listen, I've told... Everything I have to say is on record. What are you looking for?
I'm just wondering why you folks are trying to pin it on a bunch of rowdy Injuns from AIM trying to retake what's ours, which, let's be honest, it is ours, or at least the people who lived here. What's with that, huh?
I am not attempting to pin anything on anyone. I don't know the exact truth of the matter. I was not there. And trust me, the last thing I want is for the administration to get their way and continue suppressing, well, the cultural knowledge that has always been here.
Patience's eyebrows furrow. This was not going the way she expected. She was expecting something from the movies, a James Dean moment where she'd confront the corrupt journalist and reveal the truth for her plans, but no.
I don't know why she thinks I'm a journalist, but sure.
I think some wires may have been crossed at some point.
Okay, I thought you worked for 10, though. You know, TV?
No. I mean, I would love to put some of my findings on TV in a context that is not, well, in a context that is going better for me, but no, I'm, or was, a professor of anthropology at Strieber.
Oh, well.
It was my department that got broken into.
Oh, shit. Should have known she was lying. God, I was talking to this lady who was on the TV. I figured you were the reporter. I guess she was the reporter. So you actually know what it's like in there, huh? You're not just like trying to hide a scoop, be all corrupt, feed into the National Guard or whatever?
No, Miss Patience. Is Patience how you prefer to be referred to?
Yeah, that's the name my mom gave me.
On the contrary, the integrity of the department is very important to me. That's why I ended up on the news.
So you're pretty enough that I thought you were one of those ladies, you know, one of those reporters with the microphone, the suit pants, that kind of thing. My mistake, honestly.
I think Berea outwardly has a stoic face at that, but inwardly short circuits for a second and says, no, unfortunately, I spend most of my time elbow deep in the San Arroyo dirt, digging Old West artifacts out of the ground.
So what do you know about all of it exactly then? I mean, if you were involved, what kind of things were in there? Anything from... And Patience gestures at herself. My part of the community?
Some, yes. It is a navigation between what we have permission to have, what the administration does not care to ask permission to have, and what they don't allow because it is inconvenient for them. But some, yes.
And there were others. There were other things you found in that dig site that were just strange. Things that did not, at least as far as your knowledge was aware, did not really match up with any sort of indigenous cultural group that you are familiar with.
And what was done with these artifacts? Were they made public, or have they been kept on the down low until they can be better analyzed?
Well, like you said previously, most of them were originally being kept inside of a archaeological department at Strieber University, where they could be further studied. The only reason why you really found any of these things in the first place is because some land surveyors were traipsing around Jackalope Jim's adventure park and ended up stumbling on some hitherto unknown cave system chock full of these things.
And those things were what was taken in the break-in.
Indeed. They specifically... It's almost as if somebody... Because they didn't take everything. They took a few very specific things. Like somebody knew exactly what they were looking for. Including, but not limited to, a few strange spouted jars of unknown provenance, a clay tablet, and a knife. Big, ugly thing, the hooked, almost sickle-like blade made of bone.
Did we get a chance to date these things?
You were definitely looking forward to that part because, again, you were fascinated. None of this stuff matched up with any known findings. Some of it had at least superficial resemblance to similar artifacts that had been recovered from Puebloan sites in the Four Corners region. But you, to your knowledge, as far as you're aware, most Native American tribes record and transmit information through an oral tradition. You'd never heard of any tribes that had created written tablets, for lack of a better term.
I think Maria narrows her eyes a little bit. Are you trying to ask about what was taken?
Yeah, I am. Because like I said, they're blaming us for it.
She thinks for a moment and then says, well, I'm uncertain what legally I can tell you, but frankly, the whole department can go to hell.
You're my kind of gal, Maria Winters. Let's hear it. This isn't on anything. I'm not talking to no fucking pig. Lay it on me.
There were a few out-of-place artifacts taken. We didn't really get to date most of them. I figure several must have been from later settlers, but others seemed quite old, though we couldn't identify any society that we're aware of that they could have belonged to.
Damn, cavemen oyate.
Something like that. But there was a tablet and a hooked knife and a set of jars.
That's it? No offense, lady, but that's the thing they're fucking coming down on AIM for? Calling us thieves and savages? Couple of bowls, a knife, and a rock?
Yes, well, as you can imagine, speculation was rather wild about the artifacts, and I was quite excited to date them and figure out where they were supposed to go. Of course, what the dean was more concerned with was the PR around the matter and being able to claim these things for himself, especially if they came from a hitherto unknown society in the Americas. And, well, you know firsthand that when they are embarrassed this way, they look for scapegoats.
Patience all let out a bitter laugh, shake her head. El problema es el capitalismo. Always. Damn, some white dude got butthurt that he's not getting his check, huh? Gonna blame us, and it is even our shit.
He's more than tenured. It's not even the paycheck, it's the glory. A lot of them...
White man's burden.
Exactly. Much of that has not yet been excised from Strieber.
That's why you want to talk with me, huh? Get this story out? I mean, in the right hands. I'm no journalist, and apparently neither are you.
Wait,
think I
you
could get
are
pretty
also not a
explosive.
journalist?
Do I look like a journalist to you, lady?
My understanding is journalists can be rather quirky.
I'm more of a street poet. You know, my journalism is work on the streets, punching cops. occupying Alcatraz, that kind of thing.
Oh, I see. More of an activist, then.
Steward. That's the way that old folks say. So what are you gonna do about it? Just gonna tell stories, whisper around? Or you can actually do something, punch back at those fucks?
Well, funny story. It looks like someone might have beaten you to it lately, Maria.
Mm-hmm. I think Maria, realizing that patients may not know about what just happened, Maria says, listen, I stand in full support of whatever demonstration you want to make. The university's faculty ought to be shamed, but I have, the dean was recently killed in his home, so I can't do much more than tell you some of the facts of the matter.
Patience's eyebrows shoot up. She did not hear about this. Damn, like, tonight? Yesterday?
Quite recently. I'm not sure the exact time of death. As you can imagine, after, recent events, I wanted to have nothing to do with the man, not even know about his goings-on. But then the police showed up with me as a suspect. I fortunately have an alibi, but I have pushed the legal system pretty far this past year. So unfortunately, I don't think I can aid you in the punching of police officers.
You're too pretty for that. You just stand there on camera and look all nice and innocent and blink your eyes all pretty. We're gonna get this out one way or
does
another.
Indeed blink her big blue eyes innocently.
Damn, when Joe hears all this shit, she's gonna go wild. I mean, like, that breaks at least 3 federal laws, right? Or, like, at the very least, it's gonna get the ACLU involved. I don't know. Whew! And she cards her fingers through her hair. Oh my god, but how do we get this out? I mean, I guess I could ask the Whites about this, but Calista will be pissed that I even, like, have this meeting. She's gonna be like, you're implicating yourself in a federal investigation. Whatever. Someone's gotta say something. And she points her finger right into Maria's collarbone. You're gonna help me do it, one way or another.
I do think I've helped quite a bit already, not to sound presumptuous. But I'll do what I can.
Have. Tell you what, you start with keeping your ass alive. She's just gonna slide a piece of cake across the table.
I think Maria hesitates for a moment, but then starts eating the cake and then really digs into it. And I think it becomes pretty clear that in the rough week she's been having, she's been forgetting to eat a lot.
So, while Maria has her bout of stress eating, I am curious, what is going through Patience's head right now in response to all of this, aside from the, no doubt, master plan she has formulating for exposing whoever it is responsible for these nefarious acts?
Right, so we can't get on the news. That's my first thought. And she is almost gazing dreamily into the distance as she's thinking about this. I can't get this on the news, but we've got a whole witness, and that's got to be like 3 federal things. I'll scramble out the details with Joe later after I break in. Guess the first thing we're gonna need is evidence that they're covering this up. So maybe I'm gonna have to find someone who has to. Damn it.
As you're staring out into the middle distance, like directly outside of the windows of the diner is, more truck stop, essentially. The massive blacktop stretching out to reveal various rows of parked rigs, either coming into or driving out of the depot. As you're doing that, could you go ahead and give me a... You know what? Actually, give me a Wits plus Occult roll.
2 successes.
Okay. So, I'm increasing the desperation by 1.
Oh, delightful.
Because, well, sadly, that was not enough successes. However, it does also mean there's now 1 desperation die on the table to potentially be used for other purposes down the line. Regardless, I think that's a perfect opportunity to transition the scene. As we find ourselves in the closing hours at a small strip mall located in the semi-suburban neighborhood of Barendos Valley. This slightly Adobe-esque strip mall is akin to so many others throughout the California urban landscape. Liquor store, Otali's, new Blockbuster recently opened up here, and just at the corner, the Lucky Lotus Salon. Trinity, if you'd like to describe your character and what it is you're doing as you're helping your mother close up shop for the evening.
Trinity is a Vietnamese woman in her early 20s. She is currently, counting the register, making sure that's all good. She looks very distracted. She also looks a little sleepless at the moment. There's some bags starting to form under her eyes, and she's in a little black dress with a cardigan over top. She feels really cold, even though it is SoCal and there isn't like AC in the shop because they can't afford it. And as soon as she finishes up counting the till, she walks over to her little fortune reading booth in the back closet and pulls out her tarot cards and shuffles them very thoroughly and just does a reading of 3 really quickly, and she's desperately hoping the result is different.
Go ahead and give me a... Call this resolve plus occult.
That would be 3 successes.
These are not your cards per se. You got them from, well, this out-of-the-way shop, Little Hollywood. The guy behind the counter promised that they were an original Marseille deck. All of them have these old Renaissance-esque illustrations printed on thick cardstock. Titles, the original French. But lately, you're starting to wonder, because it's been the exact same thing every single time. First card, past, le amoureux, the lovers, reversed. Present, le pendu, the hanged man. And the future, the diable, the devil, sitting there on this little table, staring up back at you for the umpteenth time as this sense of foreboding begins to curdle in your gut. Which is immediately interrupted by your mother going, Trinh? Trinh,
yeah.
Where are you?
I'm back here. I'm so sorry. And she walks up. What's going on?
Your mother, Linda Fung, is currently in one of the back offices of the Lucky Lotus, flipping through a thick sheaf of papers. Vincent said he'd be in after school to do payroll. Where is he?
Shit. I mean, he called and said he was going to an after-school club and he would be an hour late, but I completely forgot. I'm so sorry.
Hey, I'm gonna need to roll manipulation or charisma plus subterfuge.
That is a lovely 3 dice either way.
3 dice.
Which has
Okay.
landed me 2 successes.
I'm tempted to give you desperation just on principle. Yeah, the lie sounds feeble coming out of your mouth as your mother swears bitterly in Vietnamese. He's hanging out with those white kids again. Isn't he?
Listen, I'll do the payroll. He just asked me to cover for him. He's been stressed out lately. I think he just
You're supposed
needs a
to
bit
be
of time.
You're supposed to be looking out for him. I mean, my God. He got his ears pierced.
It's you have your ears pierced. I have my ears pierced. Why is it different when he has his ears pierced?
You know why it's different, young lady.
It really isn't, to be completely honest. Listen, I'll close up shop. You go home, okay? Take some rest, please.
You need to finish payroll, and I want you to call me the moment he shows up.
Okay.
Otherwise,
I will
so
do that.
help me. Otherwise, so help me God, my next call is going to be the police.
Listen, he'll probably show up back here. It's okay. I'll call you. Okay, just
He gathers up the rest of her things into her purse and begins to exit out the front door. And as she does, you see a rather expensive-looking town car pull into the empty space just outside your shop.
would I recognize whoever uses a town car all the time?
You would indeed, although she's never shown up at this hour.
Yeah, I think Trinh kind of bundles herself up and hustles to the front door, making sure to swing that open sign to closed, and then steps outside and steps up to the town car to see if it's her or not.
Indeed it is, although someone's with her who you don't recognize. A man gets out of the front seat. Big dude. Burly. The kind of person who your mother would definitely declare not worth associating with. He looks like some kind of blue-collar worker. Very formidable mustache. But he goes to the passenger side door and with unexpected tenderness, he helps out of her seat. Well, a woman who lately has been one of your most fastidious repeat customers, as you see one Ruby Crawford of those Crawfords step out of the vehicle.
Mrs. Crawford, we are closed. I'm so sorry. I can get you an appointment tomorrow if that's okay, but I need to do payroll and stuff and make sure everything is good for tomorrow.
Ruby is a very attractive woman. You think she might have been an actress herself before she, quote unquote, settled down. Platinum blonde hair, movie star features, but she's also, rather notably, 6 months pregnant. And as she approaches you, she kind of looks back at her driver. You're still not sure who this guy is. You've never seen him before. She just says, yes. Listen, Trinity, I know it's late. It's just, I can pay double. I need a definitive answer to something.
Oh, I think her mom's gonna be pissed at her if she stays up for long. Yeah, I think she is like, okay, right inside then. I do have to make this quick though. My mom's expecting me. How's the baby, by the way? How's it doing?
We're having a girl.
A girl. Very, very lucky. And do you have a name or?
Honestly, still a little scatterbrained at the moment.
Okay.
Everything just seems to be happening really quickly, you know?
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a bit of tension in the air right now, right after the earthquake and everything, and there's the film viewings going on soon, and it's Halloween. I'm sure you just need to get a bit of rest and make sure you're not doing anything too strenuous. And she's currently leading Ruby towards her little booth. She's turned the lights off and everything, but as she gets there, she turns them back on.
Her driver very notably doesn't come in with you. He just sort of folds his arms and sort of leans up against the hood of the car, though he's watching Ruby the entire time.
Who's that man, by the way? Is he one of your employees, or?
No, that's Freddy. He's a friend.
Okay. Yeah, of course. And she sits down, lays out her mat, starts shuffling her cards and stuff. Okay, so just a normal reading today?
Yeah, just JJ, he wants us to get all dolled up and show up to the latest premiere like we always do, but, it's just with everything going on and the baby. I mean, that's not why I'm not taking up your valuable time just to ask what dress I should wear to Floyd Fest. She lapses into a little bit of an uncomfortable silence as she sits down.
Well, let me see if, I can help clear some things up for you then. What has got you anxious exactly? Because you seem a little bit out of it, and that's not great for the baby. So if I can rest your spirits, let me do anything I can.
I want to know if she'll be happy here. I mean.
Okay. Well, let's see. And she starts dealing out her tarot cards.
Now, the cards are an artifact, so if you want, you can treat this as an edge test.
Sure. That'll just give me an extra dice to my roll, correct?
Indeed.
Okay. What am I rolling exactly?
I believe that we decided, specifically since your artifact is this deck of tarot cards, it was going to be either intelligence or resolve plus occult.
I feel like it is appropriate to use desperation.
Or you can sense the worry isn't so much apparent as it is radiating off of Ruby. She's maybe not scared, but definitely anxious about something, whether it's the future of her daughter or something that she's clearly not saying remains to be seen, but one way or another, she's asked you a question and you will do your best to oblige. And so once again, you shuffle your way through the cards and draw another 3. But it's different this time. First, the devil again. Then, for the present, justice, a truth to be revealed. And then finally, perhaps most concerning, the future, the tower.
I think Trinity is genuinely speechless, not only because this is the first time in a few days that she has drawn a new set of cards. This is disastrous. This is genuinely might be horrible. and she doesn't want to make judgment calls like that, but she kind of is at the moment. She looks up at Mrs. Crawford and is kind of judging right now if she should be honest with her. And she takes her lovely manicured hands into hers, and she says, Mrs. Crawford, I think you need to protect yourself. There's a lot of negative energy in the air right now, and you need to be cautious, okay?
There's something you're not telling me, isn't there?
These cards, and she's looking at the tower right now. Your daughter might have a bit of trouble here. There will be a truth revealed, and she kind of just palms her hand on judgment. And I think, I'm so sorry. She's very out of it at the moment, and kind of actually stands up and is like taking a breath and like kind of wringing her hands.
As you do that, you see Ruby looks back out to the car, out to where Freddy is, looks back to you, says, I see. She stands up, reaches into her little clutch, pulls out a significant wad of cash, like you don't even think she counted, just places it on the table. Thank you for your time, Trinity. I mean it.
Of course, please stay safe, okay? Yeah.
Okay. Almost as if she's mentally preparing herself, she squares her shoulders and then walks back out the door, and you see her, almost immediately when she does that, Freddy comes over to her, and there's, well, Trinity, you can give me a wits plus insight.
Okay. Ooh, 6 dice. That is a 6 on a crit.
Well, you're starting to think this Freddy person might be a little bit more than a friend, because friends don't tenderly hold someone's hands outside of a car while it looks like they're about to have a mental breakdown.
I think Trinity draws the blinds. She goes to start payroll, but really it's more like she sits down, pulls out a cigarette, and just takes a huff.
All is clearly not well in the House of Crawford.